Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have started the Christmas series. The next few videos leading up to Christmas should all be Christmas themed to help you survive financially the Christmas time. I'm going to discuss with you and give you 50 free or frugal Christmas gift ideas. And I'm sure there are loads more that I could have spoke about, but these are the 50 things that I came up with to try and help you get by this Christmas and still be able to give really lovely personalised gifts, but not break the bank to do so, because 2022 has been a tough year financially, and I'm sure 2023 is going to be even tougher. I don't want to go into debt before the new year, so these are ways to help prevent you going into debt. Number one, which is go foraging and make your friends or family a homemade Christmas wreath. You can use oranges that are going bad in your fridge, dry them out, go forage for evergreens, dried leaves, flowers, whatever you can find, and make a beautiful Christmas wreath. And if you dry them properly, they can be used, if stored correctly, for multiple years. So it's not just a one-off thing. I actually have this beautiful book that I bought secondhand about wreath making, and it's mostly all from foraged and dried ingredients, the book there. Which moves us on to number two, which goes in hand with a homemade wreaths. It can be a homemade Christmas garland. Once again this year I have made a homemade Christmas garland out of dried oranges, dried rosemary, and I managed to find a artificial bouquet that I broke up, and it worked out as I think the bouquet was about £6, and I broke it up into little pieces and added that to my garland. But you could just as easily forage it. For the whole garland it cost me about £6. Dried oranges tend to last about three years if dried and stored correctly. They last longer than that, but they just lose a bit of their colouring. In this book it does show you how to make Christmas garlands as well if you are a complete and utter beginner. Number three, on the same sort of theme, is a foraged bouquet. Around this type of year, especially in England, you can find some beautiful evergreen plants. You can make a beautiful bouquet from them. If you're going to a friend's or family's house for Christmas and you don't want to come empty-handed, but you just don't have the cash, a beautiful foraged bouquet or dried is a great idea. Number four is you can actually propagate plants from plants that you already have in your house. So if you've got a pathos plant, you can take cuttings and create a whole new baby pathos plant, as well with spider plants. I have about 10 to 15 pathos plants around the house and 5 or 6 spider plants that all came from one mama plant. If you do have house plants, check which type you have and see if you can propagate it. And then throughout the year, you can be doing this from January. You can be propagating your plants ready for Christmas and give people plants that would normally cost you a minimum of £5 in the shop, anywhere up to, I've seen plants for £80, £90. I find that a really great gift, and I've given so many people spider plant babies and they really appreciate it, or at least they do to my face. Number five is you can make your own homemade hanging baskets. All of my plants around the house, I have pretty much made my own hanging baskets from. I bought on Amazon, I bought these reels of string, rope, whatever you would like to call it, and they cost me for this about £15, and this is what I've got left, and I've already made about 20 hanging baskets, so they last a really long time. So you could do it together. You can make a hanging basket and propagate your plants. Bam, you've got one amazing but very cheap Christmas present. Number six is you can also make your own homemade macrame. I'll put some pictures up on the screen of what that is. From what I've heard, it is quite simple. It takes a bit of practice. I have not made my own macrame. I've made my own hanging baskets that are similar to that. But there are so many different ideas you can do with your own macrame, and you can get different coloured strings and rope, and they can look absolutely beautiful. Number seven is you can make your own homemade potpourri. You can either use things like essential oils, or if you've managed to dry things that have a natural smell, then that's great too, but a homemade potpourri is a very lovely gift. If you are this type of crafty person, on my number 8 and 9, you can either draw a picture or paint a picture. I have not got this skill. I'm an okay drawer, but I cannot paint for the life of me. But my husband's boss is an amazing watercolour painter, and every year for Christmas he gets a homemade card with something that she's painted, and it's beautiful. Let's move on to my number 10 idea, which is make a scrapbook. Print out some photos and make a beautiful scrapbook. It goes along with, if you are good at arts, then you can make it really beautiful. I think really lovely, thoughtful gift. My number 11 is just have photos printed out for people. It's just one of those things that I find that people don't tend to get around to doing. Find their photos that are their most favourite and get them printed out and even framed for them. If you'd like to frame the photos, you can find insanely cheap frames in charity shops. Number 12 is you can embroider a beautiful picture. If you are good at embroidering things, you can embroider like pillows or just framed beautiful pictures. I think embroidered pieces can be so beautiful and really, oh, I'm showing myself to the world. Oops, I hope that's not filmed for too long. Anyway, yeah, I think embroidered pieces can be stunning. A lot of the ideas that I'm talking about, this is just the concept. Then from there, you can really dive deep into what you would like to do. Like embroidering, it doesn't just need to be a picture or a pillow. You can really run with that and think of other things that you can do. Like my mother-in-law is amazing at cross stitch. And when we had our first, she made this beautiful cross stitch blanket with all of the Disney characters on, and I am a Disney fanatic, so I really, really appreciated it. My number 13 is knit something. Knit a scarf, a hat, socks, gloves, all these things. You just are paying for the wool and your time. And you're in the evenings, if you watch TV for an hour, sit there knitting something beautiful, and it's a lovely personalised gift for someone. Number 14 is you can make candles. A few years back, one thing I started to do was go to charity shops and find beautiful teacups, and then I would make candles in them. You can buy soy or beeswax online quite cheaply in big bulk. So if you're planning on giving a lot of people candles, you buy in bulk and it works out very cheaply for lots of Christmas presents. And you can either do what I did and go to charity shops to buy teacups. If you're from England, I don't know if they have this in other countries, but you know the little goo pots where you can get the little cheesecake in the little glass ramekins? Ask people to save them. Often people are giving them for free on Facebook Marketplace, and same with jars. Save all these things throughout the year and then spend a few days making so many Christmas candles. Number 15 is make personalised homemade snow globes. You can research it all online. Save your jars throughout the year that you think could work for this, and then collect little bits and bobs. I used to work at a cake shop, this is how I know, but if you go to like cake or party decoration shops, you can get the mini Christmas figures that you can use in the snow globes. For like, when I worked there, this was probably 5 years ago, they were like 10p a piece, so really cheap. Number 16 is if you are very good at writing, how about write someone a poem? Me and my husband have been together since we were 15, did not really have any money because we were 15. My husband would always write me, well, my then boyfriend, would always write me poems. I still cherish these poems. And along with that, my number 17 is how about you write someone a personalised story, or for kids specifically, personalised comic books. If you've got small children and you're good at writing, then use their names and make an amazing story or comic book. Personalised stories, comic books, and flip books are a great idea, especially for small children. Number 18 is you can make soap. You can buy all of this online and make cheap soap and just give people beautiful soaps that have flowers in, and it's really beautiful. Number 19 is you can grow your own food and gift to people. Around this time of year, you could grow their Christmas vegetables. If you've got the space and you love gardening, grow loads of parsnips, grow loads of carrots and onions, and store them and save them and give them to people as gifts for Christmas. It doesn't need to be on Christmas Day, but if you say, hey, like I've got this beautiful hamper of Christmas food, I think that's just a really exciting thing. Number 20 is you can make coupons. This you can really run off with. It could be a coupon for 5 back rubs. If you've got family members that have children, coupons for babysitting. Like, do you know how much I would love someone to give me babysitting coupons? Hey, family, if you're watching, babysitting coupons, please. You can get creative here. What sort of thing does your loved one, friend really, really appreciate and go, hey, I'm gonna give them coupons for that this year. So then, again, you need to be prepared that at some point in the year, they're gonna call you up and be like, hey, gonna use that coupon now. If someone gives me babysitting coupons, they are going to be my best friend. Coupons, use them. Number 21 is shop secondhand for your Christmas gifts. There is a huge stigma about secondhand, and I don't personally understand it. And if people have an issue with secondhand items, that is not your issue. That is theirs. They could, if you buy them a gift that they want and it happens to be secondhand, even if it's in really good condition, but they're freaked out by the concept of secondhand, that's their problem in my opinion. You've thought about something they want, and actually finding secondhand items takes sometimes a lot longer and a lot more time and care. Please start shopping secondhand. Charity shops, Vinted, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, all of these are great places to find cheaper Christmas gifts. Another way you can save money for Christmas is rather than getting everyone gifts, how about you set up a Secret Santa? For my husband's side of the family, every single year we have set up Secret Santas, which means we have a £20 gift limit, and between the 8 people that get involved, we go on a website called Elfster. You put in everyone's name and then it sends out names to the email, and then that is the person you're buying for. And then you're only spending £20 rather than spending £160 if I was spending £20 on 8 people. Secret Santas are a great way to save money, and we've been doing that with my husband's side of the family now for 10 years. Number 23 is potentially a controversial one, but give something that you already have. Like if my sister, for example, has come around and she's seen something that I have and she really likes it, when she goes away I go, hey, I'm not really using this, I don't appreciate this gift that much, but she really will, I'm going to happily re-gift that to her. Of course, if it makes you feel better talking to someone saying, hey, how about for your Christmas gift, I give you this item. You're not spending any more money. They've got something that they like and you know that they like because they've told you that they like it. And I think there's too many stigmas that have been put on Christmas gift giving. And at the end of the day, if we get something for someone, we just want to get something for someone that they like and appreciate. Why does it have to be something new, something that's expensive that we spent loads of money on? If you've got something that you know someone else will appreciate more than yourself, I think there's nothing wrong with giving them that gift. Number 24 is a completely free gift idea, but how about we just agree not to give gifts this year? Why don't you agree with your friends and family? Let's not do gifts this year. We could go out and do something together instead. Which leads me on to my point 25 is rather than giving gifts, let's agree with our friends and family to not give gifts and have a bring and share movie night, or a bring and share walk where you bring food, that you bring movies, you bring treats, and you all gather around. It could be a games night, anything you want, but spend time together rather than money. Time is something that you only have a small amount of as well, and that is so much more precious. Why spend 10, 20, 30 pounds something that you don't know they're gonna like when you can just spend time together and enjoy that company, because there is only a limited amount of time we're gonna have on this planet. Number 26 is make homemade decorations. There's things online to help you learn how to make them. You can make Christmas decorations from dried oranges. There's so many different ways you can make homemade Christmas decorations. Number 27, going into the beauty realm a little bit, is you can make homemade bath bombs really easily, sugar body scrubs really easily, and again, it's not necessarily the item that's the special part, it's how you package it. If you get beautiful jars and beautiful ribbons, which again, you can get a lot of these things secondhand. Number 28 is make homemade Play-Doh. I remember my son would have been about 3.5. In his stocking, I made loads of homemade Play-Doh in all different colours. I wrapped it up in like the sticky paper, and I got a big bundle of secondhand stamps and cookie cutters, and that was his stocking for the year. He just played with Play-Doh all day, and Play-Doh is so cheap. I will try and put up my Play-Doh recipe that I make, and then you just add whatever colourings, natural or artificial colourings that you want into that. My number 29 is give people books, but I don't mean go to a new bookshop and buy all new books. I'm talking go to a second-hand bookshop, a charity shop. From 10 minutes from my house, there is a Age UK second-hand bookshop where all of the books are between 50p and £2. And it is huge, and there's so much in there, and the people are normally really happy to help you out. From number 30 onwards are all food related ideas. Number 30, make homemade fudge. I remember when I was a little girl, me and my dad spent hours making hundreds of different flavours of homemade fudge. I've never tried to make vegan homemade fudge, so I might try and do that. And who does not like fudge? And you can personalise it. You can make vanilla fudge, chocolate fudge, you can make orange fudge, you can make every single type of fudge you can think of. You can make macadamia fudge, every fudge. Go make homemade fudge for your friends and family for Christmas this year. Number 31, homemade cookies. And it's not just the cookies that are the gift, it's how you present them. You can either put them in beautiful little jars with a ribbon, you can just put them in parchment paper with beautiful bows. Oh, yummy cookies. Number 32 is make your homemade gingerbread men or houses. My husband each year makes all of our own gingerbread. You can either make the gingerbread men and give the decorations for people to decorate themselves, especially for smaller children, or you can make a gingerbread house, decorate it and give them a beautiful gingerbread house. I think that would make me very excited if someone came round with a beautiful made gingerbread house that's perfectly decorated, because I love my children, but I have small children. So if we try and make a gingerbread house, it never looks like how I envisioned because little hands have been putting things wherever they want, whereas the OCD perfectionist in me wants these aesthetically pleasing gingerbread houses. So make gingerbread, well, it doesn't have to be men or houses, it could be anything. If you've got a cookie cutter, you can make any shape you want. We made loads of gingerbread candy canes last year and snowmen and Santas, there was loads, it was great. Number 33, if you keep bees, give people homemade honey. I think I'm trying to currently convince Joel to get a beehive and I want to start keeping bees along with our chickens. We shall see. That's my number 19 point where I said grow food. Related to number 34 and 35 point is make homemade jams and chutneys. In the summer when you have so much homegrown produce or foraged produce, like in the UK, there are plum trees everywhere. You can make homemade plum jam. But in the summer, with all of these ingredients, all of these foraged blackberries and homegrown tomatoes and onions, make homemade jams and chutneys ready for Christmas. My number 36 is homemade brownies. You can make all these different flavors, and who doesn't love brownies? Number 37 is you can make homemade marshmallows. I believe it's quite a simple process. Again, don't hold me to this, I've never made it, I've just heard from that, but homemade marshmallows, like, come on. Number 38, make your own mulled wine spice kit. You can put all the spices, everything they need in there for their mulled wine, and then you could even buy them a very cheap bottle of red wine. Mulled wine doesn't need to be expensive because you're going to be putting all the flavours in. You can buy from Aldi a cheap bottle of red wine for under £4. Make the spice mix, and then they can make their own mulled wine so it can be simmering on Christmas Day. I'm getting really excited for Christmas. Number 39, which is making your own shortbreads. Number 40, make your own homemade millionaire's shortbread. Number 31, make your own homemade cakes. These can be any cakes. They can be carrot cakes, coffee and walnut cakes, sponge cakes. But if we're gonna go really traditional, you can make homemade Christmas cakes. And if you start them earlier, then the better they taste. I would like to say, if anyone has like a thing against homemade Christmas gifts, there is something wrong with you. Because that's so much more special knowing that someone has taken all of that time to make these beautiful homemade gifts. That just makes me very happy. Number 42, similar to 41, which is homemade muffins. Number 43, you can make your own homemade infused oils. That can be chili oil, garlic oil, herb oil. You can make so many different oils. There's hundreds of recipes online for homemade infused oils. Number 44, which I think is super cute, you can make these little DIY cocktail kits. I'm going to try and put a picture of what I mean. Number 45 and 46, Santa and reindeer cones. I will put a picture up on the screen of what I mean. But these I just think are super, super cute gifts for children or kids' parties, or if your kids want to do Christmas gifts this year, then that's a really good thing that they can learn to make themselves. And they can see that actually Christmas gifts don't just have to be something you buy from the shop, it can be something you make and you put a lot of care and love into. Number 47 is something in a jar. What I mean by that is, rather than making the muffins or the cakes or the brownies, what a lot of retailers are doing now are making jars that have all of the ingredients for these things, then the people can make their own. You can make your own stuff in a jar for so much cheaper. Throughout the year, collect your jars, make beautiful labels with instructions on what they should do. And if you keep the template for these instructions, it's something you can do over and over again throughout the year, not just for Christmas. Rather than buying these from the shops, make your own, you're gonna save so much money. My number 48 is hot chocolate kits. You can make these as luxurious or as basic as you'd like. I'll try and put up a picture of what I mean, but especially for kids like teenagers, this is a really sweet one, and you put all of the ingredients in there to make really fun hot chocolates, and they can be all different flavors. Number 49, it's an emergency sweet pack. I've seen these all over the place on Pinterest. You go to IKEA, get a frame, like a picture frame for a few pounds, and you fill it with all different sweets, and you write on the front, break glass in case of emergencies. Granted, we're not probably gonna actually break the glass, it's not that safe, and we'll tell people this. Number 50 is popcorn, and this can come in a few different ways. Popcorn kernels are insanely cheap. You can buy big packs of popcorn kernels, and you only need a handful of popcorn kernels to fill up a bag. Popcorn kernels go so far, so you can either make flavoured popcorn, or you can even make popcorn like movie night kits where you add the different flavours and have everything ready for them to go, and they just put it all together. That is my 50 free and frugal Christmas gift ideas. Let me know what you think. Let me know down below and let everyone else know down below what I missed out and any other ideas that you have. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your love over the last few months. I really appreciate it, and I love how quickly my channel's growing into this beautiful little community. Merry Christmas everyone, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the year. I will see you in my next Christmas themed video. Bye friends.